don't know how quickly he'll
I'm
get
gonna guess he's
respond.
writing, but
Yeah, he was writing a lot past couple days.
Yeah, dude. Shout out to everybody in the draft community.
That was insane, dude.
They like putting in so much work, and then it's over that quick, and then you just start for the next year immediately.
There's a family outside.
Like the dudes that we did that
car.
2020 mock draft
Oh, yeah.
with.
Yeah.
They want to do like a super early 2021 and just see how close it even like. Because if we would have done a 2021 like right after 2019, Grant Delpit would have been like top 7.
Where'd he go?
The Browns at
3rd round.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah, whatever their 3rd round pick was. So
okay. Live stream's up if you want to tweet the link out. You'd have to go to it and share it. And
well, Joe Burrow would have been.
He wouldn't.
Rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that like I always think about like Delpit in that case, but yeah, Burrow would have been. Like they even said how Mo Kiper Jr. had him as a 6th round pick coming into the season, and they asked Burrow about that, and he like completely agreed with it. He's like, I didn't really do anything before.
I love how open and honest he is. Okay. There's already someone in here. I don't know who the hell's in here. Good on you, though. Good on you.
Beefy, did you take the live thing to tweet?
No, I didn't tweet that. I just tweeted that we're going live.
Okay, all right. Well, I was about to. I just want to make sure.
Okay.
I feel so awkward. There's a family out there, and my windows are open. Oh, well.
You should compliment their tuchus.
They're very big people. I don't want to do that.
I'm a very big person.
Yeah, but you're shapely. They are not.
What are you talking
about? What are you trying to
say? Tyler wanted Weeks' cheeks. I thought of that the other day. Sweeney.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, that was so funny. That was a very interesting cough. Excuse me.
My desk is just full of computer parts, and I'm just missing one piece.
Okay.
What are you missing?
My motherboard.
Oh, well, kind of need that.
It's coming in the mail.
Oh, well, fair. Okay, y'all ready?
Year.
Is it tweeted?
Yeah.
Okay. Beefy, you're Johnny on the spot on this one. All right. Okay, I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3. Wait 3 seconds, then go. Fuck off, you. I don't know who that was. I don't know if you heard that. Did you hear that exhaust? Oh,
no.
Okay, cool. Oh, I look stupid now.
Now.
Okay. Oh no, who?
So hurry up and start because we got a question already.
I know, that's what I was looking at real quick. Okay, Beefy. 1, 2, 3. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, 1. I was gonna say, I thought it would just start as soon as I hit record. Okay.
I assumed you'd be
1,
wrong.
2, 3, go.
Welcome to another episode of Around the 412. I am Tyler, and with me as always are Smitty and Herb. What's going on, guys?
I got my robe on today.
I'm drinking.
Yeah,
I'm lounging.
You need
I'm
to
in
take
lounge
off
mode.
the shirt under the robe.
I do.
Okay, we need to have this conversation. Don't let him get in his Calvins by the end of this episode, please.
Honestly, you should just be in your Calvins in the robe.
Yes, but he's on camera.
We'll let the live chat decide.
No.
No, but but anyways, we are around the 412. We are sponsored by Keats Barbershop, located at 180 Brighton Avenue in Rochester, PA. Open 11 to 7 Tuesday through Friday and 9 to 4 on Saturday. Every Tuesday, he does $5 off for military personnel, first responders, and nurses. We do have a little bit of an update on there. May 8th, tentatively, he's able to reopen. I know that he has set up now where it's going to have to be by appointment, obviously with the restrictions still, even though being able to reopen. So yeah, super excited for him to be able to reopen. Obviously, be careful, be cautious with it. That applies to everybody that's going outside still. Take your precautions. Be safe. Also, we are part of the Pod Hub Network. Go over to podhubnetwork.com. Check us out along with all the other shows. And last thing to mention, as of right now, still set to go on June 27th at Whiskey Rhythm, the Horse Little Wing Bash, which we've been part of, since its inception. One of the first live events that we did. It actually might be the first live event that we did. I'm trying to think of the live event. Yeah, I think the first one that we did there was probably our first live event. But anyway, June 27th, that's a Saturday from 5 to 9 at Whiskey Rhythm, which is located at 1198 Pennsylvania Avenue in Monaca. But yeah, other than that, we're just ready to talk some Steelers drafts with you guys. I saw that there was already a question that rolled in before we started the recording. We just had the live stream going. Anyway, better turn the sound off on my phone.
That'd be brutal.
Buck Action Outdoors, they came over from Twitter, so we appreciate that. First and foremost, how are we feeling about the Claypool and any worries why we didn't go after a QB? Obviously we're going to break down every pick, but just off the rip, to answer your question a little bit, I don't want to completely ignore it. I like Chase Claypool as a player. A lot of people I think are going to argue that 49 might be a little bit too rich. And you look at the way that the board was set up for them to maybe address some other areas. But just talking about Chase Claypool, the player, I really like him. He automatically is your biggest receiver and your fastest receiver, at least, from the combine. Does he play that fast on tape? No, not necessarily. And I also don't think that the Steelers are just a team that would go just based off the combine. They don't, strike me as that type of organization where he just blew them away at the combine. So that's their pick. But yeah, I like Chase Claypool as a player. I think that he fits in right away. 6'4", what is he, like 240, somewhere around there?
Yeah, I think he's like
238.
237 or something like that. Yeah.
238.
But yeah, massive receiver. I think at the very least he's going to come in and right away be able to be a red zone target for them. I think that they need to either address straight line speed or get a red zone target. And they decided to kind of do both. I mean, Chase Claypool is going to bring that. There's a lot of talk about him maybe converting to tight end. I know that he wants to stay at receiver. I don't know what their plans are for him. If you listen to Mike Tomlin's phone call with him, which they put up, he said about them using him in like a dual role. So it's going to be interesting to see how they use him, maybe flex him out, keep him like a big slot. But personally, I would like, him and Washington to be on the outside and Juju and Deontay on the inside when they go 4 receiver sets. We'll see if that's what happens. And to address the quarterback thing, if you've watched our previous shows that we've kind of had led up talking to the draft, I didn't want them to go quarterback at any point. I feel like in the mid rounds, it's kind of a waste. Whoever you're drafting has to immediately be better than Mason Rudolph. And I'm not so sure that anybody that you would have drafted would have been. I mean, I know that Mason Rudolph's gotten a lot of hate for what he did last season. This is going to be his first offseason with a quarterbacks coach since being drafted. So, I'm not going to say it's a completely, clean slate by any means. I'm taking into consideration what happened last year for sure. I just think if you weren't taking a quarterback at 49, and I definitely did not want them to do that, because I think the next 2 years of drafting have to be every pick be about building around Ben and maximizing this window right now. If you're not taking a quarterback there, which I was completely fine with, I didn't want to have happen, I don't think you should take one at all. So yeah, I think they're going to roll with Mason as the backup, and I'm completely fine with that.
So am I wrong to say that a decent comparison for Claypool is DK Metcalf? Like, I know it's not perfect, but I feel there is similarity there.
It's not diverse route trees, athletic freaks. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, so I said it before we started recording, I only had an hour really to go over these. It seemed like route running might not necessarily be a great skill of his. He runs what, a 4.2 something like
Yeah.
that, 4.44.
Mhm.
He's my height. He's weighs a little less than me, surprisingly. So the man's an absolute freak. I mean, it reminds me of DK in a way. I mean, DK Metcalf is, man, like a rock, you know. But he also can't run routes. But like legitimately cannot. So that's why I say I think it's reasonable to compare, but maybe not necessarily stick that on him, you know?
Well, our friend Jake Shavink, one of the guys that we did that mock draft with, and he's talking about guys that put in work through this draft process. He did live streams the first 2 days of the draft, and they were both like 5 hours long. So,
Oh,
but anyway, talking about Claypool, and I think you can relate it to Metcalf as well. He said that their route trees need some leaves, and
that's a
I
good way to
think that
put it.
that's yeah, and I think that that's a pretty good way to put it. It made me laugh when he first said it, because that's a funny analogy, but I think that there's definitely truth to that. But I don't think Claypool. We know that DK Metcalf is going to be able to get away with not being the best route runner.
Yeah.
And I think that it's going to be that way for Claypool too. I think that he definitely has a role in this league. And the person that asked us that question again just put Ben really loved having Burris for the short time that he did. He was 6'5". Hopefully they share that same kind of connection. I have tweeted in the past so many times I can't even count that I wish Ben and Burris would have had more time together.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, it would have been fun. That's probably the best word to use. I don't know, how consistent it would have been, but it would have been fun. It would have been a fun connection to have for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Ben and Mike Wallace was very good, and Mike Wallace obviously wasn't as big as this, but just talking about the speed factor that he's adding, and that was kind of what I envisioned. I think Burris, what the connection that Ben had with Mike Wallace was what I envisioned he would have with Burris had Burris been here longer.
That makes sense. Yeah, I can see it.
But yeah, just this is just a good segue just to start talking, I guess, about the Claypool pick itself. Yeah, at 49, like I said, a lot of people are gonna think it's too rich for him. Obviously, a guy like J.K. Dobbins is on the board. I know a lot of people wanted to see them address the running back position and get James Conner out of there. But I think with the way that they drafted, they did end up adding a running back later in the draft, which we'll talk about. But obviously that's not a feature back. But yeah, J.K. Dobbins is on the board. That second tier of nose tackles was on the board there. Even some other receivers, Denzel Mims was on the board there.
Yeah.
And I think the thing with him is I'm not going to say that the Steelers didn't do their due diligence on Denzel Mims, but it occurred to me maybe, he got lost because you're thinking he's going to go in the first round. How much homework did the Steelers really do on this guy, thinking that there was any remote possibility he would fall to 49? And they just kind of zoned in on Claypool. At the same time, Claypool seemed kind of shocked that he's a Pittsburgh Steeler. He said they had a conversation at the Senior Bowl, but he did not know that he was firmly on the Steelers' radar to the extent that he was to potentially be the pick at 49. Like I've said, I've mocked him a lot to the Steelers at 102, or in a trade back scenario. I really liked the idea that somebody threw out there of trading with the Broncos. Originally 49 for 77 and 83, getting an extra top 100 pick. And I've picked him with one of those two picks. So I wanted, I have no problem with Chase Claypool being a Pittsburgh Steeler. If that's, as you mentioned before we started recording, Herb, was, if you feel like that's your guy, the team's obviously not going to call it a reach. The fans might call it a reach, but the team's got to get their guy if they think somebody else is going to take him beforehand.
Yeah.
And, we saw it with Deontay Johnson. A lot of people called him a reach. 3 picks later, he would have been gone to Bruce Arians.
And even what, 2 years ago, Terrell Edmonds would be considered a reach. So
yeah, I think that's a little bit of a different story.
Still call out a reach.
Timing, but
yeah. Oh my God, that's bright. I'm going to stand back.
What just happened? Did you
I
turn
turned on
the
a
sun?
lamp.
But
Yes. Also, my amazing background.
Mm.
We'll get to that later.
yeah, last night before I went to bed, I looked up Claypool's highlight stats from last year and just watched those. It was very entertaining, and I'm excited to have a wide receiver because the Steelers don't really have one. I'm excited to have a wide receiver that is just like a guy that you can like throw it up to.
Yeah,
like just throw it up and go get it.
Like if he progresses in the way you expect him to, he's going to be very good.
Yeah, I mean, and for how big he is, he's got good ball skills as well. Some of the catches he made were pretty acrobatic. I was watching, so I'm pretty excited to watch him play. The more I watch and the more I think about this pick, the more I like it.
Yeah.
I think he's going to win with his dominant physical traits. He's not going to win. Like I said, he doesn't play to that 4.42 on tape. Not to say that he's, slow. He doesn't play that 4.42 speed on tape though. And like we mentioned, he's not the best route runner, but you can throw it up to him and he can go get it. He's going to be great in the red zone. He's going to take coverage away from guys. If you want to leave him one-on-one, a guy that's 6'5", 238 pounds, good luck. If you want to double him, then, the other guys are going to eat. So he's taking coverage away from guys, even if he himself isn't going to be able to put up huge numbers right away. That's what I mean when I say he's going to be an instant contributor.
Yeah.
This offseason obviously is going to be a little different. The offseason program and everything. It's going to be interesting to see how quickly he can pick everything up. But like I said, I think from day one, at the very least, you have a red zone target when the season does roll around. So, he'll get his feet wet that way.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what opposing defenses are going to do if you run a formation where either you've got trips receivers with Claypool, Juju, and Deontay, and then you've got Ebron at tight end, or you have 4 receivers and you've got Washington in there. And I wondered what DBs and linebackers are going to do covering these guys, because you're going to probably have to double cover Juju, I would imagine, and then that leaves Claypool and Deontay and James like single coverage. I like that all day.
Yeah. So, while we're still on it, by the way, the whole not taking a quarterback thing, I was in the same boat as Smitty where I didn't really think they should. I mean, I guess there are people lobbying for Jalen Hurts. I don't know why.
I said he is the only, or not the only quarterback. I don't want a quarterback, period, in this draft. Yeah. However, if we would have taken him at 49, he's the quarterback that I would have been the least upset with. But I'd still be upset we took a quarterback at 49.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I guess Jake Fromm could have been an option somewhere in there. Okay, listen, not for me. Not for me, just in general.
Not for me either.
Okay. Still. But yeah, like.
Did he get drafted, by the way? I didn't check.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Rom? He got drafted by Buffalo.
Okay.
Oh, Jake Allen's backup. There you go.
Wait, why would they draft a quarterback?
You need a backup. May as well make it cheap. At Green Bay. What are you going to do?
Yeah, the thing that sucks for him is he's the backup for another young quarterback, not like an aging guy.
Yeah, but then again, so is Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, no, I know, and that's why it's such a weird pick. As far as like I kind of already touched on how I felt about quarterback, but like I said, I would have been upset with it. But at the same time, from the Steelers' perspective, if they feel like that's their guy, you can't pass him up. They would have had to have taken Hurts at 49, as we saw, because he ended up going to 53.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Eagles, that probably, if I had 10 guesses as to where Jalen Hurts would get drafted to, that would not have been in those 10.
Yeah.
I guess I get it. Carson Wentz has obviously had the issues with his health. Maybe Jalen Hurts will get a chance to play on that rookie deal sooner rather than later. And, we see like a Jimmy G type thing. He develops there and then eventually gets traded for like a second round pick to go be the starter somewhere. But, we'll see. Obviously, Carson Wentz isn't nearly as old as Tom Brady was at that point. But
yeah. You also brought up a great point. I feel like I am the contributing factor to Carson Wentz's injury woes.
We talked about that.
Yeah, we brought that up on Jake's live stream.
Oh, okay. That's why. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. But for Hurts, I think he'll play on his rookie contract. I just don't know if it's necessarily going to be a quarterback, because they said they want to use him the same way New Orleans uses Taysom Hill, which I don't know if any of I'm confused because it's like I don't know if. Well, granted, Taysom Hill didn't play special teams at BYU, but Hurts definitely didn't play special teams at Alabama. So I don't know what they're going to do with him there, or if they just mean on offense, if they're just going to have him line up at running back or in the slot or what.
I don't see it.
But yeah, they're not the same type of player. I mean, I don't get it. Hurts is not physically big or fast as Hill, so he doesn't have that going for him, and he's never played those other positions. Like, I just don't see how it could work if that's really what they want to do.
I do want to address the YouTube chat here for a second. Really happy we didn't go running back at 49. Truly think everyone is sleeping on Benny Snell. I know he's new to us, but I'm from Lexington and I'm a huge Wildcat fan. The dude can truly ball. There's a reason they took him in the 4th round last year. They have plans for him. He's still going to get his carries. I like the mix they have in the backfield. Hope James Conner can stay healthy. I think that, everybody's going to get a chance to have their own role. I think Benny Snell's going to come in and be the bruising back. James Conner can do it all. I don't know that Benny Snell has the hands to ever be a 3-down back. But McFarland, great change of pace back. He averaged over 7 yards per carry. He's going to be the home run hitter there for that backfield.
He's the explosive one. He'll be the one that
I
just
think
has that burst of speed.
I liked Kerrith White last year. I think that McFarland will probably be like a little bit of an upgraded version on what he was. Like I said, they're banking on James Conner being healthy and being, able to contribute in every facet of the game. But yeah, I do like Benny Snell too. I know that the Steelers like Benny Snell. When called upon last year, he was good. They know.
I said I know you like him too because anytime we talk about.
This is the one issue with doing this on Zoom. But while we're waiting,
Ify, I thought you had good internet.
While we're waiting, back to Benny Snell. I know that the Steelers like him. They know his limitations though, and they know that they need other backs to go along with him. Like I said, I don't think he's a 3-down back. I don't think that he provides much in the passing game, but as a 1st and 2nd down runner, short yardage, I think when you get inside the 10-yard line as a goal line back, he'll be very good. I think that he definitely has his role on the 53-man roster. I don't think he has to worry about losing his job.
Yeah, and I think it was a week and a half ago now that I said I'm still relatively high on Benny Snell, maybe not as high as I was. But yeah, he's not a 3-down back, at least right now. Who knows? He could come in this year and absolutely, be incredible. But yeah, McFarland, there's a couple things with that pick that are apparently he's a child, like mentally. But
yeah, that's also been
story.
Refuted though.
Okay.
Quite a bit. So I don't know where exactly that came from, and it's anonymous, of course. So
yeah. But yeah, he is fast, dude. Like I saw they took a running back. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, what could they possibly be thinking here? Jalen Samuels is probably done. That's about it. I could see him and Benny Snell splitting time even, next year if Connor doesn't come back. Sorry, I have to accept that feedback into here.
Yeah, that will be the interesting thing, is not necessarily this upcoming season, but the following season.
Yeah.
Because even if James Conner comes out and has a great season, I don't think he's getting paid here. It's just not the way that the Steelers do business.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we can get into that later, or a different show, or a different day, or whatever. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they do this, especially next year with maybe a couple big needs coming in. So
right, yeah.
It wasn't my internet, by the way. It was my laptop.
Oh, that might be worse.
Yeah, my laptop doesn't connect to the internet sometimes. I don't know why.
Oh, well, I thought maybe it died.
Yeah.
No, it's just it disconnects from the internet, and I don't understand why.
Gotcha.
So, in these comments too, Lynn Bowden, who got drafted by the Raiders, was also, his name was thrown in here as being a perfect Steeler. Sad that we didn't get the chance to snatch him. It feels like he could have been a Randwell type player for the Steelers. That's actually a really good comparison. And a lot of mock drafts I did take him. I think that he would have been an immediate contributor on special teams as a kick returner. I don't love the idea. I know that he was an all-pro last year as a returner. Don't love the idea of Deontay Johnson consistently being the return man.
Yeah,
with the hopes that I have for him as the receiver. So I would have loved to have gotten a guy that, would be that kick returner, punt returner, add those elements, and then, obviously contribute a little bit on offense as a gadget player. And, I would have loved for him to be a Steeler. But obviously the Raiders decided to make him one of the 3 receivers that they took within 4 picks. So.
Wait, hold on. Repeat that.
What?
3 receivers and 4 picks.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Well,
yeah, the Raiders took Ruggs, Lynn Bowden, and who was the other one? Brian Edwards.
Overhaul?
So
who do they have out there anymore?
Tyrell Williams and Hunter Renfrow, I believe, are like the only 2 like locks on the roster.
Even
Were you guys talking about Bowden whenever I came in here? Is that what you were?
No, still
Oh,
Snell.
yeah.
Oh,
That's not-
well, I was just curious because you mentioned wide receivers. But I saw Buck mention Lynn Bowden in the chat. That's why I didn't know if you were doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving along, I think we've kind of, I think that we've all said our piece on the Claypool pick.
Yeah.
So moving along to pick 102, they go with Alex Highsmith, a popular guy mocked to the Steelers at 102 or 124. They select him at 102. Obviously he was incredibly happy to become a Steeler if you saw the reaction. But yeah, I like the pick. I think he automatically comes in. He's your third edge rusher. They said they weren't going to redshirt, so he's going to come in and be a contributor on special teams as that
how
third edge
can you
rusher.
redshirt him?
What's that?
How can you redshirt him with just having the two,
Yeah. He's going to come in and hopefully be an upgraded version on what Anthony Chickalo was giving you. So I think that for him, the question is, is he going to be able to drop in pass coverage at all? From what I've seen, I haven't seen him really do that in college. But we'll see. He played against Clemson last year, and they said he was the toughest edge rusher they went against.
Yeah.
So I think that speaks volumes to anybody that wants to say, about the lack of competition playing at Charlotte. I think that he could definitely stand to add some mass. He wins with his athleticism. He's a flexible, bendy guy that gets off the edge.
He's very fast.
That's how he wins. Yes. But I think that he could probably stand to add some weight. But once again, I don't want that to diminish the traits that he brings because, I think that this is a very nice pick. I think that he's a good project for them. And I think this is a good long-term investment. We'll see what happens with Bud Dupree after this year. They say their goal is to still bring him back. But this is a nice insurance policy if he is to price himself out.
Yeah.
At least, like I said, you have your third edge rusher.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like the reason I took an edge in my first pick in the mock last week and a half ago. I'm not a big lip service guy, especially when it comes to GMs. So it makes sense to have insurance just in general. I think there's a chance they move him inside. Obviously, I had, like I said, an hour to look. Don't know if he's ever played inside. Don't know if he could or will, but I think there's a chance they do, even if they do, or even if they don't bring back Bud.
You mean the inside linebacker, Highsmith?
Yeah.
I don't see
That's why
that
I'm
as
saying a
possible,
chance.
to be honest. I think that he's a good athlete as an edge defender, but as a middle linebacker, I think that I don't want to say even Vince Williams is to be better in coverage, but I think even Vince Williams would be better in coverage.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. We finally disagreed on something. I'm impressed. It took this long.
Yeah, I like this pick a lot. And it was amazing whenever that one dude got it right on his for his jersey.
We were talking about that before you came
But-
in here. Yeah, that was wild.
But Highsmith can just ball. I was watching some of his highlights as well last night, and he was easily the best the defender against Clemson. But just because he went to a small school doesn't mean he can't play. And I hope Steeler fans realize that. That does not, going to a small school does not mean you're not good.
Yeah.
James Harrison went to Kent State, so people.
Ben went to Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see him, and if Bud doesn't resign, then I'm hoping that they can mold him into TJ's new partner.
Yeah, I do want to say real quick, this isn't necessarily just about Highsmith, but Herb mentioned about the Claypool to Highsmith picks for somebody on our Twitter, which I was not at all expecting. I thought I was going to have to come up with a new way to give away the Claypool jersey that we're going to buy. But yeah, this Roy Dempsey went from picking Claypool at 49 to Highsmith at 102 with his guesses, which is insane to me.
The fact that, did we get any pick right, by the way? I don't think any of us got one.
In our mock drafts.
Yeah.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah. So the fact that somebody got both of those,
right?
I don't know what to say.
I don't think one of us picked a player that we drafted, regardless of the round.
See, I definitely had Highsmith at one point in one of my mocks, but I didn't go with that mock.
Yeah, I did so many mocks. Out of the players that we ended up taking, I'm pretty sure at some point I've taken every one of them besides the 7th round pick who keeps Carlos Davis from Nebraska. I think that at some point I picked every one of them on one of my mocks. Anthony
Yeah.
McFarland
Yeah.
was a popular guy for me. After hearing Donnie talk about him a little bit. But yeah, for somebody to guess Claypool at 49 and Highsmith at 102, that's something else.
Go play the lottery right now.
That's what somebody responded saying. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, congratulations to him. Obviously when the Claypool jerseys are on sale, we'll get one out, and he lives in Canada. So shout out to the support we're getting in the other part of North America.
Claypool also from
Claypool
Canada.
is from Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. Check the notes for the merch ideas.
Okay.
You mean me? You mean me? Check them.
But yeah, anything else on Highsmith or?
I don't think so. Beefy.
Mm-mm. I like
His
him a
nickname's
lot.
Smitty.
Yeah, that part sucks.
No, get the hell out of here.
That part sucks. Yeah, so we mentioned they did go running back.
Hey, hold on. I just want to. What was it last night we were talking about? Someone posted a picture of it's like Alex Smith and then Alex Smith with a joint in his mouth and it says Alex Highsmith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's the last thing I wanted to bring up because it was funny.
A lot of people wanted the Steelers to go running back early. They waited till their third pick 124 in round 4 to get Anthony McFarland from the University of Maryland. As I mentioned, this guy is not going to be a complete back for you. He's going to be the change of pace guy. He can hit a home run anytime. Get the ball in his hands. He can take the distance. Averaged over 7 yards per carry last year. Good long speed. But there's been some injury history there. And, as Herb brought up, we don't want to, spread rumors, but there was an anonymous scout that said there were some character concerns. So I guess that would be something to keep an eye on.
And that scout could be many of things, including wrong. So
yeah, at the
He's
same
also
time,
a little guy.
Yeah, he is very little.
The organization that the Steelers are, I'm sure they did their due diligence. It obviously wasn't something that steered them away from drafting this guy. So, I don't have any concerns about, that standpoint. The only thing I would say is, we know that there's injury history there, and there's injury history with the guy that we're hoping can be the complete back for the Steelers. So, obviously that's something to monitor, but hopefully it's, they're going to do this thing running back by committee, keep everybody fresh, keep everybody healthy. I like the mix of running backs that they have now by adding this guy. If James Conner were to leave next year, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if one of these guys or, maybe McFarland and Snell combined are able to take over the reins. But for this upcoming season, I think that they got every type of trait that you could want from your running backs. It's just, somebody adding their own piece to it as opposed to one guy bringing everything.
Yeah, and I was going to bring that up too. Do you think maybe this season you see something close to like not exactly, because that was, oh my God, insane what the 49ers did this past season, like committee, but not solely the offense,
Yeah, I mean, I think that kind of down the stretch, Raheem Mostert pretty much took over the backfield. Yeah. But yeah, the idea that they had at the beginning of the season, and there were a couple injuries that played into that as well. But, their idea was going to be, Breida, Mostert, Jerick McKinnon, and Tevin Coleman. All 4 of those guys were going to factor into that backfield. So, I guess potentially they don't run the same style offense. Ben's not going to throw 10 times a game like Jimmy Garoppolo was at times. So
yeah, exactly. That's what I mean, where it's like just running back by committee traditionally instead of
if you want to relate it to college.
Offense.
If you want to relate it to college, which I mean it's college, but I would say it would be kind of like what Pitt did. Pitt used 3 primary running backs last year with AJ Davis, Vincent Davis, and Todd Sibley. So, and they use them in various forms. So I would relate it more to that than what San Francisco did.
I think that's what I'm kind of going for. I just don't know the way to actually say it.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm excited. I want this guy to run to the outside. I want him to like get to the edge and then just take off.
Dude, I was gonna say he gets space, he's gone.
Yeah, that's
what was his 40 time? Do we know?
I didn't see it.
I didn't look it up.
I think it was 4.44. That's what I think I saw it was.
You're right.
It is 4.44. Yeah.
Yeah. It was either 4.44 or 4.42.
4.42 was Claypool, so it's probably 4.44.
Okay, yeah.
I would say that you brought up getting to the outside. I guess I would bring up too, is this guy able to do any running between the tackles? Doesn't really seem to be his game.
Well,
But
I
don't
mean,
think they
he,
need-
I not that I want to bring height into it and say like, oh, you're too small to do that, but like he's 5'8",
Yeah,
and he's not
small.
that thick, so he
Species?
doesn't seem like someone that would just like that's their type of game is running between the tackles.
Yeah,
I just see him more as like going to the outside. That's that sort of stuff, like
I mean,
sweeps and
from what I
pitches
saw, he's an all right pass catcher too. So
yeah. There was what game was it? I think it was like the second game of the season. He ran all over teams.
I was gonna say I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you.
Maryland scored. I forget who they played, but they scored 70-something points.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it was like 71 or 72 points or something like that.
God.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, somebody actually brought up a good point on our Twitter. I just happened to be checking the fact that the Steelers have been drafting college teammates the same years,
Yeah.
taking more than one guy from the same school. But Maryland makes sense. Bringing in Matt Canada where he was the head coach there. But also Dino Tomlin, Mike Tomlin's son, is at Maryland, so there's that connection there as well.
So he's probably seen.
Wait, who did they draft from the same school last year?
Brooks. Oh wait, last year. Oh God, I don't know.
Last year would have been Bush and Zach Gentry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I forgot Gentry went to Michigan. I honestly almost forgot he was on the team.
Well, I'm not so sure the Steelers haven't either.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Although they didn't add a tight end today. How funny is it? I want to bring up too, not necessarily relating to the Steelers, but just the NFL as a whole. Thaddeus Moss goes undrafted. This is a guy that people were talking about. Like they wanted him at 49 at one point. Like,
yeah.
Did Albert O get drafted?
Yes. Denver.
Okay. I was busy watching movies, so I didn't get to watch the draft today. So I wasn't really keeping track. I watched Infinity War and Endgame back to back.
That's impressive. That was what, almost 6 hours?
Yeah. If you had a little break in between, it's basically 6 hours. Yeah.
We were talking about Alberto a little bit, we were kind of knocking his game. But yeah, he blew everybody away at the combine. I think that's, excuse me, kind of where he shot up the boards for people. But if you were going to have a landing spot, I don't think that there was a better one than ending up back with your college quarterback. So
yeah, that's not bad. But I didn't the Patriots, they take 2 tight ends?
One of them is seen as more of like an H-back though. Dalton.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know how much like actual tight end he's going to play. He also took a kicker in the 5th round.
Yeah, that didn't make sense.
All right.
Who wasn't like listed as the top kicker. Like it wasn't that.
Did Georgia's kicker get drafted?
What's that?
Did Van Der Esch get drafted? Or not Van Der Esch. Whatever Georgia's kicker's last name is. Did he get drafted? Yeah, that's it.
I don't think he did. But yeah, the Patriots took that Devin Asiasi too, who's a freak of an athlete. He kind of climbed the boards too. Huh?
What a name.
Yeah. Okay, so moving along here, unless you guys have anything else on McFarland.
I'm good. Oh, wait, actually, I want to bring it up. Not necessarily about McFarland, but potentially, I guess. Who do you think is predominantly returning punts this year?
I don't want to say.
That's fair.
I'm gonna guess Deontay, but just based off of what he did at the end of last season doing it, I think they would.
I mean, anything's better than Switzer. So
that's my concern, is that they end up going back to him.
Yeah. Did McFarland play any special teams or no? Because I know Claypool was a gunner, but that doesn't mean really anything.
I doubt that he did.
I would say maybe kick returns he could be involved in, but not punt returns.
That's fair. Okay. I was just curious.
That's what I'm saying. I'm worried about. I think that the kick return could be McFarland, maybe somebody else if you put 2 guys back there, and I think the punt returns end up being back to Switzer, as much as I hate to say it.
If he's going to be on the team, he's got to do something, I guess.
I don't know how he's still on the team, dude. I don't know how he makes the team this year.
That screenshot of the Rams game makes me so mad.
Assume you've got 4 wide receivers in Juju, Claypool, Deontay, and Washington. He's I'm assuming he's going to take up a fifth receiver. Who's your one receiver?
I think that they like Deion Kane too. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I like Deion Kane a lot.
They signed him off another team's practice squad, which they don't typically do.
Yeah.
He's still under contract. It'll be interesting to see what happens with him.
Yeah.
Because does the element of his game kind of get erased by Claypool? Maybe. But what does Switzer bring to the table?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It sucks because Switzer's a good dude. He's a nice dude. I'm not gonna take anything.
I've heard other things. Just
Really?
All right.
Yeah.
He does stuff for charity, so
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah.
yeah. But like, when it comes to his football play, I don't really care to have him on the team. He just doesn't bring anything. And at the end of last year, I get wasn't he injured?
Yeah.
But like, he should have been pulled out as punt returner like halfway through the season as it is. It shouldn't have just been the last couple games. He doesn't do anything. It's like all he does is fair catch, and if he does return it, it's only for like 5 yards, if anything.
Against the Rams, there's a screenshot of it, and I'm sure I could go back and find it. He had 20 yards of open field in front of him to the left side. He ended up losing 2 yards on the return.
Yeah. I don't understand what
he starts running and then turns back around.
I mean, he's on the team because Ben likes him. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
mean, I guess
why does he like him? Like
I don't know.
Why did Sid like Kunitz for the last year of his career?
Kunitz is a much better.
But at least.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I absolutely agree.
In that last year, they moved him off of Sid's line.
Yeah, until double overtime in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals, and he ended an entire franchise.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like how some Pens fans are with Simone, except Simone is actually productive.
My God.
And people just don't realize it.
I forgot about that. Let's not talk about that today. That'll make me mad.
Yeah, but it's like, what's he doing on the team? Why is he there? But that's the thing. Like we always say, like Sid likes Simone. Well, it's like Ben likes him, but at least Simone does stuff.
Yeah, at least
Switzer
the numbers
doesn't really
back up
do
Simone.
anything.
Switzer just sucks.
He's just taking up a roster spot that could be potentially just like another guy.
He's an amateur. He's an amateur.
It should have been like Eli Rogers last year.
And yeah, I would have much rather had Eli Rogers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Talk about a guy you want to see come back. I know he was making a case on Twitter to come back, but how are you going to make a case on Twitter?
I don't know. Claypool got recruited off of Facebook.
Yep, I remember seeing that. I'm going to retract that statement.
Yeah, because he's from Canada, so they weren't looking there, and he just posted highlights on Facebook.
BC of all places too, not even Ontario, BC.
Yeah. And Neville Gallimore's from Canada too. Not a Steeler, but just another Canadian football player. That's all. Go ahead, Smitty.
With their second fourth round selection, they addressed the offensive line, which was a big thing leading up to the draft. A lot of people wanted that to be, their first pick. There were some people saying they didn't want them to take him at all. But they do address it in the middle rounds. Kevin Dotson, a guard from Louisiana, which I accidentally tweeted Louisville earlier, which I apologize for that.
Oh, that's tough.
but
rough look, rough scene.
All-American. Somehow didn't get an invite to the combine. But that's just adding fuel to the fire for him. Fourth round pick. Probably due to that, I would say he probably could have gone round 3 if he went to the combine and had a good showing. But I think that they kind of lucked into a pick here. I saw somebody, I can't remember who it is. One of the media heads say that he's was their number 3 offensive guard. So they get him in the 4th round is incredible value. But yeah, I can't wait to see this guy get on the football field. He's a Steeler fan. His parents have a man cave that's Steelers. So he already was decked out in his Steelers gear when they tweeted the video of him, finding out about getting picked. And then, saying the typical video saying, "What's up, Steeler Nation? Can't ready to get to work." So, yeah, obviously great to add a guy that's already a Steelers fan. You don't have to get him to buy in. He's already invested. The family's already invested. But yeah, I think that it's great value here, and I love the pick. I think that, if you're looking at just value-wise, this is probably their best pick of the draft.
Do you think that they would like him to play this season, like be on the starting?
I don't
Or
doubt
do you
it.
think they'd try to mold him first?
The thing is, Sean Sarrett has already was already asked that, and he said he's not rolling it out, and he thinks he could compete for a spot.
So do you think that he would? I mean, obviously he'd go to guard, but would that just leave Filer on the outside of tackle?
You would imagine.
Yeah. Which, I mean, yeah, you're talking about the possibilities as of if you look at them right now, it's going to be Villanueva at left tackle, Pouncey at center, DeCastro at right guard, and then Filer's starting. It's just a matter of is it at left guard or is it at right tackle? If it's at left guard, then you're talking about Banner and Chooks at right tackle, which one of those two competing. If it's at right tackle for Filer, you're talking about Wisniewski and now Dotson competing for that left guard spot. I think my preference would be to keep Filer on the outside. I'm not a big believer in Chooks, and I like Zach Banner in his current role as that extra tackle eligible role. And then have Wisniewski and Dotson compete for that left guard, and I would give him every opportunity to compete. I wouldn't hand it to Wisniewski and say he's going to be the starter. You got to wait your turn, see if he slips up or gets injured. I would give him the chance for a fair competition with Wisniewski from day one.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I forgot Wisniewski was on the Steelers. I forgot we signed him.
Yeah.
So
Hey, he's not tech gentry. Come on.
Hey, it's just a signing that got lost in all the draft stuff. Okay.
Yeah. That's fair.
But yeah, I'm excited to see this guy. He's a big kid. An AP All-American in the 4th round, and he doesn't get an invite to the combine. How does that make sense?
It doesn't.
Houseway.
Yeah, Houseway. Yeah, but I like this pick. I think you're right. It is probably their best value pick for where they got him, and I'm excited to see him compete. I'd like to see him play this year. I mean, Wisniewski would be fine too, but I always like whenever our draft picks just play right away. A little bias there.
Yeah.
Who's I don't know if Ryan's still in here, but he said he went to the Skins. I wish I would have seen that immediately because I don't know who he's talking about.
I don't either. Also, I'm going to be completely amateur right now.
Oh. The Redskins already signed him as an undrafted free agent, Thaddeus Moss.
Oh, wow. That was quick.
Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, I'm going to be amateur and leave for a second. I'll be right back. Keep going.
Okay.
Okay. You just meant walk away. I was like,
yeah,
if you leave.
If I leave, this is over. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say.
Yes. Okay. Moving along, I guess we can talk about this pick, and if Herb has anything to say when he comes back, he can. The next pick in the 6th round, no 5th rounder due to the Vanette trade. 6th round, they go Antoine Brooks Jr., the second pick from Maryland. We know they needed safety depth, so it makes sense. The hometown kid, Geno Stone, was there, and a lot of people wanted him. I think that he might have been able to fill the role that I was looking for them to draft more. Antoine Brooks is kind of does what Terrell Edmonds is already best at, getting up at the line of scrimmage as a box safety. He's a pretty short tackler, but how good is he in coverage? I don't think that he's great in space. I think that he'll be given a chance to be on the football field. I think he could play special teams, but I was looking for a safety that I felt could be on the field for, at least 50% of the snaps, and I'm not sure that Antoine Brooks brings that. So at least not.
Yeah. I don't hate the pick, but at the same time, I don't hate the pick, but at the same time, I don't love it either. Like, I thought you could have picked Geno Stone or another safety. I mean, he's not the fastest guy either, which I don't like as well. But yeah, I'm concerned about him in coverage, or just like if he has to cover someone deep down the field, is he gonna be able to keep up with them? Because I think that was something that people criticized him for. It's just staying with guys down the field.
Yeah, so I did a show not too long ago with Donnie Druin and Noah Strackbine, our editor from SI. And what they were saying was a forgotten guy is Marcus Allen on the Steelers. And maybe this pick means this guy may be on the practice squad. Maybe he's strictly a special teamer. And maybe Marcus Allen's the guy that's given every opportunity to be like that dime backer, third safety that actually plays, a decent bit of snaps with the defense, with the starting defense. He wasn't on the field for any game last year. He didn't get a helmet for any of their games with the active roster. But from what Noah was saying, he put in a ton of work, was on the practice squad, and he improved, he thought, week to week of practice. So, this is the coming out party, hopefully, for Marcus Allen. He's got to show something this year.
Yeah, I mean, I was on the Marcus Allen hive. I was excited when we drafted him, but he's never really had the opportunity. I'm hoping that he can show something if that's really what they want to do.
Was that the first mock draft, or wait, was that the mock draft you did with Donnie and Noah that you guys brought him up?
We didn't do a mock. We were just kind of like talking about certain players, but that's what I said was they brought up, that Marcus Allen's kind of a forgotten man. He wasn't active for any games last year, but was with the practice squad. And Noah said he thought he improved every single week of practice. And with this pick of Brooks, waiting that long to get a safety, going with a box safety, this might be telling that, they have bigger plans for Marcus Allen here in year 3.
I mean, I'm not surprised. Like, he wasn't bad at Penn State at all.
No, he was great. Yeah, I loved him at Penn State. Yeah. And that's saying something. If I like someone at Penn State, they're good, because I hate that place.
That is true.
But
I think the only problem for Marcus Allen really is the fact that Terrell Edmonds is there, because they'll give Terrell Edmonds every goddamn chance they can.
Yeah, I mean, I just think Marcus Allen is capable of doing things that Terrell Edmonds can't. Like I like Mark.
You're right.
I like Marcus Allen in coverage probably better than Terrell Edmonds. And I don't know. I like Marcus Allen's size. I loved his size coming out of college. I love big DBs. He's like 6'2", I think. So I love that. I would be excited if they let him play, because I've been waiting for that this will be the 3rd season now. And I remember we were at what tailgate were we at when he got drafted? That would be NS9's live show, or that was our combined show.
Oh, that mess. Oh yeah. God, I forgot about that.
That was the NS9 Donato's Dugout around the 412 combined show. That's when he was drafted.
We've been doing this way too long.
Yeah. In August it'll be 3 years.
That's weird. That's weird.
Yeah, so in 3 months it'll be 3 years.
All right. Anyway, back to football.
I'm looking at
so Herb, do you have any thoughts on what's this dude's name? I'm blanking.
Anton Brooks?
Yes. Anton Brooks.
I told somebody before we started, I got to watch a little bit of highlights from, games here and there. He seems all right. Like, definitely, because I think this draft is so deep, he seems better than what you would expect for a 6th round pick. But I mean, 5th, 6th, and 7th, you're just kind of playing with magic beans at that point. Like Smitty said, they more than likely do have something in mind for Marcus Allen, so that's where I'm going to put my faith in for now. But yeah, that's about it.
I mean, Smitty brought up that this guy's he's like a 4-short tackler. He's good at doing what Terrell Edmonds does already, but he's got coverage issues. And I said his 40 time was great. I think it was like a 4.6 something.
Oh, wow.
I think it was like 4.62 or something like that.
Yeah.
So he's got some speed issues as well. I'm concerned about him covering people for distances down the field at safety.
This is a depth pick. That's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, Smitty did bring up maybe he could do like special teams too.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like they've we obviously have one more draft pick to talk about. From what I'm seeing on Twitter, as the UDFA process starts, it looks like the Steelers have signed 8 undrafted free agents, which
wow,
is more than I was expecting. Kevin Colbert said they probably wouldn't do much there because of all the XFL signings.
Yeah.
I don't know how much time these guys are going to spend with the team, but the one that jumps out to me right away is they signed a 6'9" defensive end.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
What's his name?
I just saw the name too, and I went right past it.
It was all a dream. I have no idea who you're talking about. If he's actually 6'9", that's insane.
Yeah, Calvin Taylor.
Where's he from?
He's 6'9"?
Yeah.
I mean, I know BYU's had defensive ends that are 6'9".
It's weird for me to think about guys that are taller than me, but
Kentucky?
Jesus,
Kentucky. I don't really know him.
Benny Snell
That's
does.
a big dude. Yeah, like last year. Well, there's a bunch of brothers, but Bronson Kafusi, Devin Kafusi, and
Runs in the family.
they're. I mean, well, Bronson for sure because he played basketball and football. But then just transitioned over to football. But he was a defensive end. But he was 6'9".
Jeez. It's weird to me, like, not to get way off topic, but like to be 6'5" and have people taller than me and realize if I was in the NBA, I'd probably have to be a point guard.
Yeah.
Or
It's
shooting
weird.
guard.
We're shooting.
Yeah.
This would be the only
Yeah,
two-
but
this would be the only
I
two
can't shoot. I can only pass. I'm white.
What the?
Dude, some of the best shooters are white.
Let me go with my joke.
Jimmer.
Jimmer.
Okay. If nothing else on Brooks, final draft pick, Carlos Davis, the defensive tackle out in Nebraska. This isn't a guy that I've seen too much linked to the Steelers. Haven't watched much on him.
I don't know much about him, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I know that people were saying a pretty good athlete at the defensive tackle position. But, in the 7th round, that's finally where they decide to address the loss of Javon Hargrave. This guy's obviously not going to be Javon Hargrave, but you're just looking for a guy that takes up space, take on some blocks and let Hayward and Tuitt do their thing. So
I was going to say, so this kind of shows they have plans to move someone inside, right?
I would think, where they're just not going to have somebody inside on most snaps.
Yeah.
Which is very possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think if they do go, with a 3 defensive line front, it would either be, Buggs, maybe if he adds 15 pounds of weight before the season starts, or you'll see, Alualu try to play there, which, I'm not saying he can't, but, he's not
best suited.
The same thing. He's not to be able to play the same way that Hargrave did. He's just not built that way. So
yeah.
I mean, so I got some strength and weaknesses up on Davis just because I don't really know a lot about him. But let's see, they say he's got active hands to swap pass attempts while he's pass rushing. He is let's see, he keeps his hands inside the frame, so I guess he doesn't hold a lot.
Good. Don't need penalties.
Yeah. He's good at like recognizing blocking schemes, I guess.
So he's a very fundamental player.
But they say he lacks initial snap quickness, so just getting off the ball. He plays too tall sometimes and is frequently out leveraged. The low man wins, And okay, I don't know why it says offers no NFL value on passing downs, but then he says active hands to swap pass attempts. What?
See, that was what I not the first thing you said, but as far as on passing downs, that's kind of what I envisioned. With that he would just be like a run stuffer and wouldn't be on the field on 3rd down.
How big is he? Let's see. He is 6'2", 313.
It's a big boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Smitty and I were talking before we recorded, before you were in here, I think. Just kind of seems like a depth body option. Doesn't really impress. He's magic beans. He's a 7th rounder. What do you want?
I would say he's a 7th round pick, is what you're saying.
I hit my hand on the table.
I will say though, I think, whether it be due to the fact they only had 6 picks or that it's a position of need, we saw last year guys at the back end, their back end draft picks didn't make the roster. And Sutton Smith was on and off the practice squad with other teams,
countless times.
But I don't see that being the case this year just because of having the 6 draft picks, and this guy fills an immediate need for them. Being only the 2nd traditional defensive tackle behind Dan McCullers, who I hope we don't have to see. So
we'll see about that.
But yeah, anyway, so if I were grading the Steelers draft, going pick by pick, and overall, starting with Claypool, I would say a B-. It's not what I expected for sure. Like I said, I like Chase Claypool, but 49, I would not have expected it. Just within 24 hours, I've talked myself into liking it more than originally. It's hard to doubt the Steelers when it comes to receivers. Not to say that they never miss, because they have, but every team misses. And if you're looking at the track record of all 32 teams at one position, they draft receivers about as well as any team drafts any position. So
yeah, I mean, I would say a B as well for that one. I mean, you said B minus. I'll just say B. I like Claypool. I've talked myself into liking him even more, but yeah, at 49, that seems a little high in value with him. But I still like the pick no matter either way. It doesn't really matter where they draft him.
As somebody who didn't know much about him before he was picked, I would say B plus. Funny enough, just because he does seem like a guy that, like I said earlier, if he progresses the way you would imagine, he's going to be a freak.
Yeah, I mean, he's got good upside. He's got a lot of upside with his size and speed. He can do some real damage on the Steelers, especially with Ben's last few years. Hopefully he can get a couple more years with Ben and before he has to get a bad quarterback.
I can't wait till be like, this season you just see a ball go up 40, 50 yards down the field and you don't really have to worry about it.
I think the thing is too, I mean, if Chase Claypool, there's never been like any history from what I've seen, but I think that we could talk about Martavis Bryant a little bit here too, as far as what he brings as a player, the traits that he has as a player.
I honestly forgot Martavis Bryant was a person.
Especially if he can play at 4.2 speed in those pads with a football in his hands and not just when he's running a 40 time.
Yeah, that is fair.
Alex Highsmith at 102. I said I really like this pick. I still can't go A yet for me, just because of the way that the board was still falling to, though. I liked Alex Highsmith as a pick. I liked him as a player. But some of the other guys that were there too would have been very enticing for me. They passed on Terrell Burgess to take Highsmith, who I would have loved. I think safety was a more immediate need than edge. Edge, though, very well could be a top need next year if Bud Dupree watched it. It makes sense. But I'm going to go B here for the Highsmith pick. I like it. I like Highsmith a lot. I think he's going to be, an immediate contributor, and his role is only going to increase as time goes on. I think he still has his best football ahead of him. But yeah, B for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I'm just going one above you too. I'm going B plus. I like him a lot. I think he's got a good ceiling. But you're right. Like Terrell Burgess would have been nice, safety out of Utah. But I mean, obviously they weren't going to pick him because we wanted him. Let's be real. Never goes away. I wanted Michael Pittman Jr. He was gone at 34. So. Although,
yeah.
Would you? I guess I don't know if we've talked about this. Would you have rather had Dobbins instead of Claypool?
See, the thing is, Smitty and I didn't want them to take a running back in the first or in the second round, but
yeah. So if your question was Mims, I think I would rather have Mims, but I don't mind Claypool by any means. There's obviously was something, Mims fell a lot further than we thought he would. Whether there's actually something there or not, whether he's going to come in and be the beast that we thought he was going to be and be a first round pick, that very well could be the case. I think the Jets got a great player. But I was a Denzel Mims guy, like right along there with Pittman Jr. Those were my two guys at the receiver position. So I would have loved Mims. Dobbins, and it's funny enough that he's an Ohio State guy, but yeah, I was having a hard time talking myself into loving the idea of them taking a running back at 49.
I figured that was your answer. I was just curious, just since it was Dobbins and we took Claypool. I didn't know if that would change your mind or not, but
no, I would, out of those options, I would rank them Mims, Claypool, Dobbins.
Okay.
Maybe
Claypool ends up being better than both.
Like Akers was still there too.
Well, Neville Gallimore was there, but that's
he was there. He was there a lot longer than that too.
Yeah, he was picked in like the 80s, something like that. He went to the Cowboys. I know that.
Didn't Dobbins go to the Ravens?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I hate that the Ravens had a great draft.
I know. Yeah. Smitty brought up before we started recording, maybe going over some other teams' drafts. I was like, I did not really look, but I didn't think about it till you said that. The Ravens did have a really good draft.
Yeah,
They did.
Ravens had a great draft. It's really
Did you
fun.
so Herb, where you at? What's your grade on the Highsmith pick?
I'd say B as well. I mean, especially for where he went and for me, because you guys know I don't follow football too much. At least I haven't before this. Going to a small school, there's not really much to look at unless you're actively looking for that, and that's kind of your job to look for that. So that's where I'd put it right now from what I've seen.
Okay.
If he's on the
Pick
move.
124, Anthony McFarland.
Yeah, I need my phone charger.
Oh. Pick 124, Anthony McFarland, the running back out of Maryland. I'm not very high on this. I'm not very low on this. I think that he, what he brings to the running back group is something that we don't have right now. Or he's at least an upgrade on, that skill set. Like I said, if we're talking about like an upgraded version of Kareth White, who I actually really liked last year, I think that complements the running backs we have right now very nicely. But I still got to go C here. I think that it's an okay pick. It's a fine pick. I think that he'll have his role in the offense. But once again, they waited another pick and even another one after this to address safety when this is probably the latest that I would have liked to have seen them address it. So for me, it's a C.
You and I are going the same way. I was going to give it a C. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm intrigued to see what he'll bring to the offense, but at the same time, he's probably not the person I would have thought to pick at first at 124.
Again, completely.
I
agree.
don't hate it.
Yeah, completely agreed. I mean, like he fits in a way that I wouldn't have guessed, if that makes sense. Like somebody said, he's the game changer, or not game changer, but like pace guy.
Change of pace. Yeah.
Yeah. My brain stopped working there. What's new? But yeah, I'd give it a C as well.
He's a guy that can make that can make a defense gassed when it comes to just like catching up to him.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
If that works, if it works, he could be bad. We don't know.
Yeah. Of course, we're talking about best case scenario for these guys.
Yeah.
And so here going to pick 135, Kevin Dotson, the guard out of Louisiana. I'm gonna go an A- on this. And like I said, this is their best value pick to me. I don't, for the love of me, know how this guy didn't get a combine invite. But I'm glad he didn't, because I think that's why he fell here. He's got powerful hands, strong at the point of attack. I think the question is, his pass sets. But as far as the run game, I think he's going to be phenomenal. We saw the strength. There was a video of him pulling a truck, which was a common video that we see for like those top offensive linemen, and then you see Kevin Dotson doing the exact same thing that they were. But yeah, I think that value-wise, this is probably their best selection of the draft. And we talked about, can he come and compete right away for a starting spot? For me, when you look at the way that the rest of the roster is, I don't think Wisniewski should be guaranteed a spot. He wasn't, a starter right off the bat last year for the Chiefs when he went to the Super Bowl and won a Super Bowl for them. It was kind of just a postseason run. I'm happy to see him here. I think he provides depth, but I think, long-term Dotson's a phenomenal pick. I just hope Sean Sarrett's able to mold these guys the same way that Munchak was, who he is succeeding.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like this pick a lot, and I'm going A. And just to add to what you said, you got an AP All-American in the 4th round. How often does that happen? So I'm excited to see what this kid can do. He's a big kid. I want him to bully people. Yeah, I'm really excited for him. So this is going to be definitely my highest grade of the draft, the best pick of the draft this year.
Yeah, and I fully agree. I can't add anything to that. So I'm also going to sit down if I can with this camera. So
we'll see.
But we will see.
Next pick, I pick 198 to go Antoine Brooks Jr. out of Maryland. I think I'm going back to the same grade as his Maryland teammate got with a C.
There we go.
For me, I think he'll be, an okay player. I think he'll be a special teams contributor at the floor. I think he'll be fine around, playing in the box, being able to tackle guys. I think he's a short tackler, but I would have rather seen them go safety with range here. And there was one left on the board that I think would have filled a bigger need in that safety room. and let Edmonds maybe play more around the line of scrimmage, play to his strengths. So yeah, I'll go C here. Not thrilled with the pick, but it's not bad enough for me to say, D or F. So
I'm not gonna say D or F. I'm just gonna say C minus. I really don't. I don't care for this pick a lot. It's definitely my least favorite one of the draft. Like you said, he plays the same way as Edmonds does, so that causes conflict of like when he would play, and if he did play at the same time as Edmonds, I don't like him in coverage. So I don't know. It just causes conflict. So I'm going C minus.
Yeah. Again, I don't know why I'm here. I can't add anything to this conversation.
Well, it's kind of hard because like I'm basically
you're going last.
Smitty.
So.
Yeah, it's like Smitty says a lot, and then I'm trying to add things or like say things differently than him, and then you're third. So it's like,
listen, I'm
tough.
just enforcing the amateur hour thing. No, I do not want to go first. I do not want to go first.
You can go first on this one.
No, because I don't even have much to say about this one. Pick 232, their last pick of the draft. They go Carlos Davis, the nose tackle out of Nebraska. At this point, it's a position of need. He's gonna, for lack of better words, be a space filler for them. Let the other guys along that defensive front do what they do best and get after the passer, and he'll just take on blocks. From what I've seen, from what what you've said earlier, I think he's a decent athlete at the position. Probably won't play much on passing downs. But at the bare minimum, hopefully he's a run stuffer. Play, 10 to
just block those holes.
Yeah.
Like literally just block the running lanes.
Play 10 to 15 snaps a game. And so for me, I can't go too low on it because I don't know too much about him, and it is a position of need. So I'm going right back to the well with a C.
I'm just going to go, I'll go C. Completely average. It's a shame because I just don't know enough about him. But yeah, maybe he can be just like he is a traditional nose tackle, but I mean, like maybe he could play similar to like, or he's a traditional defensive tackle, but maybe he can play similar to like what a nose tackle does. Just take up space, take up blocks. I don't expect him to do much. He's not going to be like a guy that's constantly getting in the backfield. So yeah, just a C. Completely average pick for me.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, he's magic beans. He is magic beans.
Yeah. I just think it's funny that I was reading that off of NFL.com on their draft analysis from him. And it said strength. His hands are quick for like batting down passes.
Yeah. But then he's
weakness.
Non-factor.
He's not useful on passing downs.
Yeah.
It's like, then why did you add the passing stat to his strengths?
Exactly.
Like, I don't know.
People are weird.
Yeah. So a couple other things to talk about that have kind of transpired over these last couple of days too. The biggest surprise for me is Yannick Ngakoue not getting traded from the Jaguars. Really thought that was coming this weekend. There's been so much smoke with it. I know he wants out badly. He's making that known on Twitter. He's gone back and forth with on Twitter. So yeah, I feel like the time is ticking. I really thought it would be this weekend. Joe Staley of the 49ers retires. And in pretty much a corresponding move, they acquired Trent Williams from the Redskins for a third and a fifth. Matt Breida goes to the Dolphins for a fifth, and Marquise Goodwin to the Eagles for a 6-round swap. So the 49ers, very active this weekend, both in the draft and, with their current roster making some moves in a retirement as well. But yeah, for me, just talked about, who had the best drafts, who had the worst drafts. I thought the two best drafts were probably the Baltimore Ravens and the Dallas Cowboys. Both those teams looked like they were players were just falling to them that there's no reason they should be. And they were the big beneficiaries, whether it be for the way that this whole process had to go down, being so different. But they looked like they were playing chess and everybody else was playing checkers. I mean, to get Neville Gallimore in the 80s, whatever it might have been around that range in the third round, is insane. For the Ravens to get both Patrick Queen and Malik Harrison, insane. And they had Devin Duvernay, who's just going to make that offense even faster. I could go on, but for me, those were the past two drafts. The worst two were the Packers and somehow the Patriots. The Patriots will probably somehow end up being good, but on paper, their draft made no sense to me.
So. I hope I can get this to work if I can airdrop a video because, oh my God, that Packers pick was horrible.
Yeah, the Packers taking Jordan Love made no sense to me. Like and that's the thing. I like Jordan Love, just not to the Packers. Jake on his live stream was hilarious. Because he was just an absolute shock whenever I announced that pick. And then CJ Dillon, terrible quality pick. Especially where did they pick him? He was in the second round, right?
Did they CJ?
Or yeah, I didn't mean CJ.
Yeah, AJ Dillon from Boston College. He was their second round pick.
Yeah, yeah, he was their second round pick. Like there were other running backs you could have picked there, like much better running backs you could have picked there.
If they were to go running back, and I don't think that they should have. I mean, Zach Moss made it to 80 something. So
yeah, that's who I was hoping for in the third round, but obviously he didn't get there. But I agree with you. Ravens had a great draft. So did the Cowboys. I mean, Cowboys, even if just the first round, getting CeeDee Lamb at 17, I bet they didn't think that was going to happen.
Never mind. I'm gonna break the stream if I try and do that. So not gonna.
And then they got Trayvon Diggs and Neville Gallimore in the first 3 picks. That's, I mean,
three guys that were
draft
in the first round potentially.
Yeah, if you just stop the draft right there, that's a great draft. I also like the Colts draft as well. I mean, just in their second round alone, they got Michael Pittman Jr. and Jonathan Taylor. But I mean, I know we weren't high on taking a running back, but if you're going to take one, I mean, Taylor's not a bad one to pick, and we were all high on Michael Pittman Jr. They did take Jacob Eason though, so which is like meh. But like, if I'm just going off their earlier picks, I like the Colts draft. It's kind of similar to where we were like, we love Minnesota's draft, and then day 2 happened and they took Ezra Cleveland at 51, and we're like, yeah, they just kind of ruined it a little bit.
Yeah. I still don't think it was like, terrible. By any means, those first couple picks you said kind of make your draft when you're able to get Justin Jefferson and Jeff Gladney. I mean, right off the bat, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, he's going to be picking off Jordan Love.
Yeah, I hope Jake goes back and listen to this. But I think the Saints early on, they didn't originally have any day 3 picks. They ended up drafting Tommy Stevens for some reason. I have no idea why they ended up doing that in round 7. But in rounds 1 and 3, in just 3 picks, they get Cesar Ruiz, Zach Bond, and Adam Troutman. So I think that's a pretty good haul in rounds 1 and 3. Once again, 3 guys that, if a tight end was going to go round 1, for me, it would have been Troutman. He was my first tight end. And Zach Bond, I thought, was a round 1 player too. So, and Ruiz was my top interior offensive lineman. So I think the Saints did really well too.
Yeah, I know Nate liked that draft a lot. When we were talking about winners last night, he brought up his team, the Saints, just because they made some great picks.
As a division, I thought the AFC North drafted well. I mean, even the Steelers with their limited resources, obviously the first pick going for Minkah Fitzpatrick. So if you want to include him as a draft pick, and then the third round goes for Devin Bush. So, limited resources, but the AFC North I thought drafted very well.
Good.
Yeah,
I make things fun.
I like our draft. AFC North did draft well. Cleveland drafted really well. Cincinnati, Cincinnati's worst pick, and it's not that it's their worst pick. It's probably just their worst value pick was T. Higgins at 33.
Yeah, they get Burrow, Higgins, Akeem Davis-Gaither, Logan Wilson, Khalid Kareem. As you go down further, I'm not sure how their draft rounded out, but I mean those picks. Yeah, I don't love the value with T. Higgins at 33. I mean, if they would have gotten Pittman Jr. right there, wow.
Yeah, but I mean, still T. Higgins, that's still good wide receiver. Still going to take it.
I would ask if his name is actually T, but I'm not going to ask that.
It is T. It's T-E-E.
That's legitimately his name.
Yes, T. Higgins.
I need to rethink my whole life.
Look it up if you want.
Yeah.
He's a wide receiver from Clemson.
I knew that part.
Anything else?
I'm good. I am golden.
With the draft, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Like I
Good
said,
draft
Steelers
season.
signed 8 undrafted free agents. We'll see if any of them can crack the roster. Obviously, we had one.
Hey, Cole McDonald got drafted. That's all that matters. The Titans got a steal.
Ben DiNucci from Pine Richland goes to the Cowboys.
Yeah, I was shocked when I saw that he got drafted. I'll be honest. I did not think that. I didn't even realize that he could be drafted. First off,
Yeah, his name popped up in the last couple of weeks leading up to the draft. And when I was reading about him, it was talking about, not necessarily, not like his natural ability with a football, but they think he's going to be a pretty good like quarterback to have on the roster, whether it be as a third quarterback or on the practice squad, just due to his intelligence for the game. So they think he brings value in that way.
So Landry Jones.
Well, Landry Jones, I feel like Landry Jones takes a lot of
somewhat
crap,
capable
but they
play.
make the playoffs last year with Landry Jones.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, that's enough football for me. I don't know about you guys.
I can talk football all the time.
Yeah,
I know.
What are you talking about?
I know, but I mean this thing behind me.
So now does this is it officially tank for Lawrence season?
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
It
I
is for
said, I
Lawrence.
think that we're gonna give it a shot to collaborate with those guys and come up with like a 2021 mock that's going to be interesting. As of right now, my pick for the worst team in football is the Jaguars. I don't believe in Minshew mania. I think that they'll give him every chance this year to be the starting quarterback, but I don't think it lasts past this year. So,
Do you have his jersey?
Sorry, Gardner. Huh?
Do you have his jersey?
No.
Or Jersey.
I thought you had his Washington State jersey for some reason.
No. I thought about buying it. I still might. Like, that would be cool. I wouldn't get a Jaguars one, though.
Yeah. Especially when the team's going to move to London in the next few years.
Don't say that. I don't
I'm
want
going
to
to say it.
happen.
I want to see it happen.
All right. Well,
But yeah. So if it's tank for Lawrence season, what quarterback is going to be the actual number one quarterback? Because it was tank for Tua last year.
I don't even know who else is in this draft class.
Justin Fields.
Oh,
Sam Ellinger,
don't know who that is.
Texas quarterback.
You're not preaching to the choir here, bud.
Kenny Pickett.
Is he?
I mean, he's a senior.
Hell yeah. 7th round.
I'm just happy he'll be out of Pitt.
I almost pulled my laptop off. That could have been bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say, and I didn't even do as much draft coverage as a lot of these other guys. I got to tip my hat to everybody that's religiously involved in this. It's a ton of work that these guys put in.
Yeah. Just seeing what Donnie
a lot
did
of
in the
it
past
firsthand.
week.
And I know that they're just going to get right back to grinding on Monday. So
Yeah. I mean, when we go into the Senior Bowl, we saw a lot how in depth a lot of these guys are with it. So it's very impressive.
it's eye-opening.
Yeah, we're amateurs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why do you listen to us? If you listen,
Most people
to us.
don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm referencing Herb's background, by the way, amateur hour.
As we should.
Do it
Yeah.
for the love of the game.
That might be a little bit too inside of a joke.
What? We don't want to show our tax returns on stream.
I mean, it's nothing. So
You'll be very disappointed.
what did David text us earlier? Like, does Mark not know keeping your tax returns low is the best thing?
Yeah. You don't want a lot on your tax returns.
Yeah. He came out of nowhere with that, by the way.
Also, if we're so insignificant, why does he respond? Like,
I mean, like I said before we started recording, if you're not pissing people off, you're not doing something right.
yeah, we know how to do that. Apparently, I saw
know how
Casey
to do
came
that,
out of the
apparently.
fold. Little Mark Madden simp.
Wait. Oh, that dude. Yeah.
Yeah, Penn's Chronicles.
Forgot about him.
You know that guy?
Yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah.
I don't
he
really
must
care.
just like
I was having fun with it. I appreciate I appreciate all the followers having our back and going after those guys, but it's serious. Like it's fun for me.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Now,
I mean, I don't get mad about it. It's just
Yeah.
it's just like interesting to me. Like if he really thinks that we're like that insignificant, why take the time to even respond to stuff like that?
Now see, like, here's my thing, because I take this to a completely different level. I am willing to have Mark on a podcast. I don't care. I like that ability to talk to somebody that I don't agree with. But
I'd have him on too.
At the same time, if this man is so smart and wants to call himself a super genius, do you not understand this is free advertising? Or is this circumventing your own shtick and giving us free advertising while you're being a dick?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have him on our show, and I wouldn't. I wouldn't bash him. I would actually try to like just have a conversation with him and talk about sports.
Agreed. It's like when Filipponi almost made it on North Shore 9. Almost. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. Whoops.
Did you see that? Whenever you mentioned North Shore 9, it popped in my head. DK said like something, mentioned like being friends with North Shore 9, and then they just replied 6 feet DK.
Yeah.
Oh, ew. Ew.
Hey, I mean, Mark, you're welcome on anytime.
Anyone is welcome on anytime at this point. We're gonna run out of stuff to talk about by next week.
Yeah. So I've been getting ideas from people. I think what we're going to start doing, assuming that we're all on the same page, starting with our next episode, is like the last 5 to 10 minutes every episode. We're going to open it up for questions, and we'll answer those at the end of the episode. I know that we used to do that, and they would be at the beginning of the show. I think that would be good for like a closing segment. So every week, just send us in questions the last 5 to 10 minutes. We'll focus on those once we're done talking about topics. But also, I know our AMA episode where we did that for an entire show did very well. So,
I don't know how people sat through that, honestly.
So if that's something you guys...
I mean, questions, these questions don't have to be sports related. They could be anything.
Yeah.
The last 5 to 10 minutes. So you can ask us whatever you want.
Yeah. Almost prefer it that way. So again, as Herb said, we're going to be looking for ideas for shows. So tweet at us. We're open to anything. I'm not saying we'll necessarily do it, but we're willing to listen. We're all ears when it comes to ideas for the show, segments, whatever it might be.
And since I'm not the one dealing with the DMs and Smitty is, if you want to make a case for coming on the show, you're more than welcome to DM us.
God. Okay. Yeah, sure. I feel like I've spent more time on that account over like the last 2 weeks than ever before combined.
So like you guys know this, I took that account completely off of my phone when you decided to put all those jerseys out there and stuff, just because I could not take the amount of buzzing that was going on with my phone. But now that I'm completely off Twitter, besides what people send me, I listen. Good luck, everyone. I know as much as you do.
Oh, we gained 1,200 followers in a day.
That's true. I guess I should mention that too. I mean, anybody listening, I'm sure knows, but from now until May 1st, there's a ton of giveaways on our page. A bunch of jerseys. If you're trying to get involved with the Steeler tickets, I'm not going to say it's too late, but there is at least one person with about 150 votes.
If you have a following, you're more than welcome.
That dude's got a lot of simps.
All right.
So get involved, and we continue to do giveaways all the time. We just did one for the draft, so there will be more on the way. I'm looking for ways to just continue to. We're looking for ways.
What is my man's name who won the Claypool jersey?
Last name's Dempsey, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's the most American last name I've ever heard of.
Roy Dempsey.
Roy Dempsey.
That's an American name, Jesus. But he's not American.
Well, he lives in Canada. I guess he could have been originally.
I'm
Halifax,
no,
Nova Scotia.
Immigration's a pain. Halifax, wow. All right.
But anyway, yeah, we're doing a ton of giveaways. We continue to do a ton of giveaways. As a thanks for everything that you guys have done for us. As Beefy mentioned, we got 1,200 followers in a day doing this. So, I hope that a lot of those people would come and listen to the show and enjoy it. But obviously,
don't unfollow
having you guys around. So, and having our backs when stuff like the last 24 hours pops off. So,
it's been a weird 2 weeks, dude.
Someone should make a meme of like us three as Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor, and then have the scene from Endgame with the portals and everybody coming out, and just have a bunch of different like Twitter avies as all the characters, and then Thanos is like Mark Madden or something.
You heard it here first.
That'd be so funny.
Somebody's gonna do it.
If one of you can do that, that'd be hilarious.
Somebody's gonna do it.
Somebody do it. Send it to us, and we'll send you a free shirt.
Oh, okay. Smitty's sending you a free shirt. All right.
That sounds good.
Anyway, this has been Around the 412. We're part of the Pod Hub Network. Head on over to podhubnetwork.com. Check us out. Check out all the other shows. Follow them on their social medias. We're sponsored by Kate's Barbershop. Kate's Barbershop is an old-fashioned barbershop located at 180 Brighton Avenue in Rochester, PA. He's open 11 to 7 Tuesday through Friday and Saturday 9 to 4. Of course, he's not open right now, but good news, as of May 8th, he is able to reopen. He is going to be by appointment, obviously, because there's still to be some restrictions. However, if you download the app, The Cut, you can book appointments right on there with him. All dates and times are shown on there. When he accepts your appointment, that time becomes unavailable to everybody else. So it's super easy. Check that out. But once again, Keats Barbershop, 180 Brighton Avenue, Rochester, PA. Tuesdays, he does $5 off for military personnel, first responders, and nurses. And as of right now, the Horse Nickel Wing Bash is still set to go on June 27th at Whiskey Rhythm at 1198 Pennsylvania Avenue in Monaca. That's going to be June 27th, which is a Saturday from 5 to 9. Other than that, it's been Around the 412. Smitty, Tyler, Herb, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
We're done recording. Stream's still on. Hey, Stream. Hi. How you doing? If you sat through that all,
Yo.
how?
Yeah.
What a poetic time to go robot again. Is he dead?
What am I gonna do all night?
I don't know what's happening.
Smitty, can you see me?
I mean, it's very choppy. I can hear you now.
I don't know.
Lollipop, lollipop, la, 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 la.
That's on stream. With that said, we're gonna go. Bye-bye. I can't remember how to stop it.